perhaps by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Nuroff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haight deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
Say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's touched on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
To the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, and it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday night. It is the IGP Round 9 Season 3 live from the Hungaroring. I'm James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by Tom Cairns with me once more this evening to guide us through this epic evening of racing of these Super Formula Lights. We have got 30 laps for you here at the Hungaroring. The magenta zone, which has no active overtakes, is coming out of top turn 5, which is under the G of the Hungaroring circuit title in the top left-hand corner. Let's bring you up to date with the top 20 scores on your doors at the moment. Pedro Suarez is out in front on 326. Kevin Webster on 292, and Antonio Jimenez on 291, Robert Ridgway on 285, Mackenzie Roon is on 274, with Evan Way on 239, and Andy Flynn on 226. And you've got Thibard Rabelard up 1 place on 214. Lee Aberdeen up 3 after his win last time out at Sebring is on 212. He's not here today. Adam Townsback in 10th. Then you've got Christian Glamseater, Brent Ruiz, Donnelly, Will McIntyre, Costas Tenebrail. There rounds off the top 15. Moving on to the final places of the top 20, Nicholas Westman, Eddie Amos, Dennis Cornu, Marcius Putniks and Zoltan Zamota are on in that top 20 at the moment here. It is the Hungaroring. It is for 2.722 miles, 4.381 kilometers. The only real changes since 1996 to 2002 has been the angle at which turn 1 is made. It's normally just a straight right the way back on yourself, and now it has obviously got more of an angle on it, making it more of a hairpin turn. Since 1986-88, when they had the turn 3, which was on the way out of turn 2, there would also be a right-left chicane. It has been changed to what we know of today. The circuit's not changed since 2003. Let's bring Tom into the booth with us. We have got about 2 minutes left of qualifying here as well, and we can have a quick chat with Tom Cairns here this evening. Tom, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Hello, James. Hello to everyone that's tuned in for some action here at the Hungaroring and these Super Formula type machines in iGP. And Sundström, the Norwegian, sits at the top of qualifying with only a couple of minutes to go. I don't know if we'll see any more improvements within the next couple of minutes. And to add as well on the circuit configuration, James, if you notice turn 12, the difference there between that and when it was changed in 2003, because it used to be a very quick chicane on the lead up to turn 13, now it's just sort of like an acute angle of turn 12 that takes you to turn 13.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. The circuit's not really, changed much since its opening in 1980. Apart from the angle, as I say, of turn 1, the chicane halfway up the straight from 2 to 4. That's probably really one of the only changes that have been majorly noticeable. The top half of the circuit has not really been touched whatsoever, and that's a great shot there on your screen of where turn 3 would be normally in the pattern of the current configuration. I think one of the things that they are going to have to look out for is, if we can jump on board with Tony Jimenez here as well, would be coming into turn 5. There is a drain on that right hand side. There it is. And if you hit that, unfortunately, for some reason, there is no grip. It will literally shoot you off to the left hand side and put you in the wall. Now we're going through turn 6, which is the right hander. Turn 7, the left hander here for Jimenez. Then going around turn 8. Then files to the left-hander. Oh, he gets that all a little bit wrong. Round turn 9 we go. Unfortunately for Tony there, being on the broadcast, taking us for a lap, and unfortunately gets it all a little bit wrong. But turn 11, the right-hander. This is the rundown into turn 12 again. As you can see, it is now just a straight run down and turn right. Down to turn 13, and then of course the 14 is back on ourselves. So there's 14 cornered circuit here, and I think it's going to be very, very interesting. The racing here, I've seen multiple times. It can be quite meh. Oh, car in the middle of the circuit, that's never good. But there have been times when the racing has been absolutely epic, Tom. So I think it's going to be a mix here in these Super Formula Light machines.
Yeah, and for those who have maybe not performed as well as they could have done, this is an opportunity to remedy that. So since this is my first experience of iGP, I don't really recognise who those particular competitors are, but whoever they are, I'm sure they'll give it a real good old go. And in terms of the Hungaroring, it has crowned 6 new Formula 1 race winners, most recently being Oscar Piastri. I know there were team orders involved in that, but he was the one that won the race. And could we see someone very different to the race winners we've seen? Thiago Martiu won the first race in Montreal, then it was Brent Ruiz who won round 2 in Barcelona, then Suarez won in Red Bull Ring, Silverstone and Misano, with Lee Aberdeen winning the last 3. But like you say, he's not here this evening.
Yeah, he's not. He's not on the circuit. Jesper Sandström, Raheem Hakim is, and they're 2 very quick drivers. Andy Flint has got his way up into 3rd. Great job from Andy there as we wait for the rest of the field to come over the line. The last one over the line will be Eddie Amos in his famous Tron liveried machine here. The green and black looks absolutely stunning for Eddie. So I think that he's done a great job with that livery and giving up on the race circuit. So there's no one else to finish off. So we should be able to bring you up the grid very, very shortly here of this race. It's going to be very, very interesting. 30 laps of this very tricky circuit, and the likes of Jesper Sandström, Raheem Hakim, who are naturally super fast, and we know that already. Where's Alias this evening? Good evening to you, sir, before you even jump in. And if Sandström could complete a season, we do believe that he would be a champion. He is just insanely quick. Don't forget, if you're sitting at home watching, like, subscribe, turn on the bells and do all that other fancy jazz. Can do completely free on YouTube there, and that will help support the channel. We've broken the 2K subscribers mark on our way to 2,100, so that would be absolutely amazing if you can do that. And check out the shorts as well of all the broadcasts that have been coming up this week. There's a couple of shorts on there that are rather exciting, so go and have a look at them as well. But we're just near the end. We're just waiting for the session to change over from qualifying. There you go, and here is the grid for round 9. Jesper Sandström in 1st place, Raheem Hakim in 2nd, Andy Flynn in 3rd, Nicholas Westman in 4th, Pedro Suarez in 5th, with Tony Jimenez 6th, Kevin Zwemstra in 7th, and then Kevin Byland in 8th. Christian Glamseter down in 9th, and Robert Ridgway in 10th. They're bringing up row 6 is Will McIntyre-Jones and Mackenzie Roan. Row 7, Simon Fessy and Thibard Rabelard. Row 8 will be Patrick Williams and Clark Williams. The Williams is next to each other, not related. On row 9 is Dennis Cornu and Stefan Dubert. On row 10 will be Koji Ito and Joseph Lucas. Row 11, Marcello Kessler and Eddie Amos. Row 12, Leonard Cherry. And who is alongside Chris Pratt is alongside Leonard. On row 13, Marcius Putnieks and Alan Lay, and Chris Trott and Zoltan Zamota, Marek Otlovs and John McKenzie round out the top 30. Then you've got Stu Milne, Alex Hopkins, Maximilian Gerhardt, Noel Ritchie Robinson, Costas Tenebrow and Donna Leake round out the bottom row, with Richard Van Veen is in 37th place. So we've got 37 cars all dying to finish this race, all dying to show us what they can do. And well, if anybody's got any here, I think it's going to be catching the likes of Raheem Hakim and Jesper Sandström, because trust me, if you allow them guys to get out in front, they're going to be gone. It's going to be very, very tough. Just really quickly here as well, Tom, final thoughts about the Hungaroring. Where's the place to overtake?
It's going to be turns 1 and 3, and depending on the exit, you might get them into turn 4. So turn 2, sorry, instead of turn 3. But you could get overtakes on depending on your turn 2 exit.
Right, okay, we're just waiting for Jesper Sandström to get on to the grid. Is he going to be joining us? It doesn't look like Jesper Sandström is going to get on to the grid here. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Ladies and gentlemen, the pole sitter has not made the circuit, but we are green. Raheem Hakim does lead us away with Andy Flynn in second. Nicholas Westman got third. Pedro Suarez, Tony Jimenez. Everybody's moved up a place now due to the fact that obviously poor old Jesper Sandström did not make the start. So we'll keep an eye out and see if he does join the race here as well. But Raheem Hakim on his way out of turn 2. Round the left-hander they go, as they say, no active overtakes for anybody here during this magenta zone. It will be turn 3 on the way up for the left-hander of turn 4, which they were coming up to just about now. You can see them all filing out in line of stern motion, and then on their way round turn 5. Once we kick in around turn 5, ladies and gentlemen, the race has officially now begun, and Raheem Hakim leads us away through turn 6 and 7 here, but that's a big one, Tom, for the pole sitter not making it at all onto the grid.
It's a driver's worst nightmare, being on pole and not able to take the start. Hopefully, Sundstrom can take the start from the pit lane very, very quickly. Otherwise, he's going to find himself a lap down. But he's not left the pits yet, so it looks like his race could well be all but done. But Hakeem doing all he needs to do and lead out in front. No one's making any early overtakes as yet, as they've been briefed before tonight about making any overtakes during the course of the first lap. But so far, so good. No incidents being made. I think by the time lap 2 does begin, we'll start seeing drivers making their moves.
Yeah, Kevin Byland has been unfortunately off the side of the circuit. JWS welcome in, not able to run the race. Time for dad duties. Was nice seeing I'm not dropped 2 pace for the retirement. Is that Jesper Sandstrom in you? Yeah. Oh, it is Jesper. Welcome in, Jesper. Evening, James. Even now, I was expecting you into the chat here, as your man is out front at the moment. He is leading the way with Andy Flint, Nicholas Westman pushing along. We've got this very much single file liney, which is what I was talking about here. Clark Williams and Patrick Williams are side by side at the moment. There is Clark on our inside, and Patrick, give him room. See, just on the inside there on the run up, and that was Patrick Williams losing a place. Dennis Corner's also on the inside as well. You gave him far too much room there, dear sir. I can tell you that much. Way overly nice on that one, and now unfortunately for Patrick Williams, he does lose that position. But it's great racing currently going along, and again, this very liney sort of form here, Tom. I was fearful that this might happen, and unfortunately, it looks like at the moment it has happened.
Yeah, well, they're all in single file at the moment and just settling into a rhythm. I mean, for Patrick Williams to drop down, he's behind the Frenchman of Dennis Cornu in the number 36. So Patrick Williams often so with more work to do there. In terms of who's made up the most places, well, it's all those have gained 2 positions from the starting lineup, albeit one of them would have been from Jesper Sandstrom, who didn't take the start, but the reasons for it are completely understandable, so we can't really blame him for that.
No, definitely not. I've been there, mate, when we've been called to dad duties. Trust me, I've been there many times, so I do fully understand here. Now we've got Nicholas Westman chasing down in front at the moment of Andy Flint, coming up to the left-hand or turn 2. You can see it dips down just a little bit. If you can get alongside or even inside, you're in with a great shot here. Flint is going to be running around the right-hand. A little bit of information from Andy Flint regarding the racetrack as well. If he did say tyres could be a problem if the heat stays up as it is. The temperature, if it continues to be quite high, is 43 degrees centigrade at the moment as well. So it is borderline close to needing a pit stop. So, well, that's basically what we've been told from Andy Flint. So I'm sure we're probably wishing that this doesn't end up having to be a tyre stop race at some point. Kevin Swebstra has got Christian Glamseater in behind him, Robert Ridgway and Will McIntyre Jones as well. And Tom, at the moment, it's almost a DRS train without a DRS.
Yeah, well, these don't have the luxury of the DRS like we've seen a lot of single seaters do, but you know, they've just got to just settle in. I mean, that's the part of the nature of this circuit, really, that the Hungaroring, and you know, it's just not necessarily making any daring overtakes at this point. But I wouldn't be at all surprised if we see a few going into turn 1. In a few wheel-to-wheel battles on the exit into 2, and more drivers will get involved, and it will start going into a little bit of a pinball effect as the race progresses. We've just seen drivers posting their personal lap times of the race, their best lap times, as I've rightly corrected myself, but that just tells you about the fuel that's been burnt off at this stage. Richie Robinson is a lap down. He's out of the race now by the looks of it. And Richard Van Veen has dropped back from the pack ahead of him. So I don't know what's happened to either driver. Who are we looking at here? This is the number 66 going into. This is Richard Van Veen, isn't it?
Yeah, Van Veen, he loses the card and he goes round plying the pressure. No, Richie Robinson, this is him coming out of the pits. It doesn't look like there's been any other issues for no. I really cannot see any other issues bar from that one. So unfortunately it looks like, but no, Richie Robinson, that is at the end of his race. We've lost a couple of people already here. what have they got to do here? This isn't, we're trying to say about racing and going side by side and battling and sending it down into turn one and making a barnstorming overtake that gets me so excited I scream down my microphone. And literally they've all only gained, apart from Kevin Byland, who's gained 2 places, everybody else has gained 1 throughout the field, and that's obviously due to the fact they've but not going on to the start. But the likes of Michele Kessler, he's the only one that's down 2, and everybody else is up 1 and up 2. And this is where, I think that for me, this is why I worry about this race circuit. I spoke to you in the green room previously and said there's been races I've done here where literally nothing is happening and people are just following. And at the moment it looks like we've got that narrative, and I don't want to be that guy, but I'm hoping that this kind of hots up a little bit. Are we seeing tyre saving at its best, or are we seeing, apart from obviously Cornu, Williams and Williams, who seem to be going at each other in this mid-pack, are we seeing this tyre-saving strategy that come lap 25, we might see some absolute barnstorming racing, but the first 25 laps is going to be very, very, very similar to follow the leader?
Well, it just depends on where your mindset is at. I mean, if you're Dennis Cornu, who's stuck behind one of the Williams drivers, just trying to remember which one it was.
Clark.
It's Clark Williams. Yeah, Clark Williams, he's stuck behind. So yeah, he's not looking like he's wanting to push that much. He's preserving the rear tyres at this stage. We know how abrasive the Hungaroring can be for the drivers. And yeah, we're not really seeing a lot of them going for it at this early stage. As for Hakim, who is continuing to lead the way, 1 second clear over Andy Flint, with Vesman in 3rd position. It's Suarez and Jimenez, all of which are pretty much spaced out now at this early point in the race. We are now already on lap 6.
Yeah, Raheem Hakim has got the fastest lap of the race at this moment in time. You can see it on your screen there, 1:34.580. It looks like Marcello Kessler has unfortunately just had a little bit of a moment as Marcello, that's turn 14. Looks like his back end's already heading round. It is, and he goes round there. For Marcello, little dink on the wall. He should get away with that one, and he should be good to get it up and running again. Just applying too many beans there, Tom, would you say? And that's why he has ended up spinning that machine round in the back.
Yeah, I just hope he's not managed to go through turn 1 as aggressively, because those rear tyres do get cooked very, very, very quickly. And when the tyres are overheated like that, you need to go through to the next corner or 2 rather gently, so that you're not spinning around again. So it's a terrible shame there, and I hope he manages to recover from there, because it was a costly error.
Yeah, it was a very costly error, but I'm sure Marcello Kessler, he's no slouch here. He'll have a go at coming back through the field. Christian Glamseer and Kevin Swemstra are very much follow the leader at this moment in time here. And there's a sitting in. Kevin's not made any positions. He's exactly where he was on the grid. As I say, Kevin Byland has made up 2. But everybody else at this moment in time has made up 1. Simon Fessy chasing down Will McIntyre Jones here. And you can see on the pod on the left-hand side, that's what it looks like towards McIntyre Jones. And this is what it looks like towards the back end of Fibard Rabelard, which is 2.1 seconds up the road at the moment. He's got his own issues with Clark Williams running side by side down into turn 1. Williams is going to make the line. He's given him a nice little bit of an opportunity there. Rabelard was so nice there to Williams. He left him room on the outside. Williams is trying to come around the outside now. You can see him right beside us, but I think Rabelard's going to have it. Is he going to hold on going on the run up into turn 4? It looks like he is currently, but Fibard Rabelard was very, very nice there, I think, Tom. He gave him absolute bucket loads of room going down into turn 1.
Yeah, well, he didn't really quite defend his line into turn 1. It made it too easy for Williams to get alongside, and now he lost himself time to the pack that he's chasing, because he was preoccupied with Clark Williams, and now he's got to try and get away from him, and he's got all the queue of traffic looming in behind, fancying their chances sooner rather than later.
Yeah, he has got this Rabelard, Clark, Rabelard, Williams, Cornu, Patrick Williams, Stepan Dodorea and Koji Ito with Joseph Martin Lucas with Eddie Amos, the last one in the line here. Raheem Hakeem's opened up 1.5 seconds. Andy Flint has got half a second to Nicholas Westman here on lap 8 of 30. You see the back marker is going into turn 4 at the moment. That's in 34th place. That's Donaliki with lost Jesper Sandstrom, as we know at the beginning, Noel Richie Robinson, and also Stuart Mill. Now, I can tell you what happened with Stuart Mill, and I'm wondering if this is a 2-car crash with John McKenzie going down into turn 1. Does look like he's just about to try and send it out the inside, bumps the car behind, and unfortunately there is McKenzie there and rips the complete side pod of Stuart Milne's car, who then moves and nearly takes out somebody else as well. Unfortunately for Stuart Milne, not having a good time. Magella Kessler back in the pit lane again. And is this the first part of why Magella Kessler, that's a drain there, mate, be careful on that one, goes out of far, round turn 5 again. Too many beans on the pedal, and Magella Kessler unfortunately goes round and then just keeps going round and round and round and round. So unfortunately for him, it's not looking good at this moment in time. Closest battle up the front here is this Marcello Kessler, Andy Flint battle, Tom, and everybody else getting a little bit more spread out than they used to.
Yeah, well, it's good to see that Versman is putting Andy Flint under pressure through the remaining corners of the lap, and soon they'll be starting their 9th lap of this IGP Super Formula round at the Hungaroring, round 9 of the season. Got 3 more rounds to go after this one. It's Mugello next week, Motegi in Japan, and we finish off in Zandvoort in the Netherlands.
Yes, we certainly do. Zandvoort's going to be very, very interesting indeed. These guys continue to run around down into the left-hander of turn 2 here, and Nicholas Westman chasing down Andy Flint. Mackenzie Roon is in there at this moment in time, and to Get Good Racing livery machine, and looks like it's got new livery this week. Absolutely gorgeous for Mackenzie Roon, so fair play to him on that one. He's chasing down Robert Ridgway. Clark Williams is on a bit of a mission. He's chasing down Thabad Rabelard. Williams is up 2, the man on the move at this moment in time. You can also see Koji Ito. It's great to see Koji back onto the circuit as well. He's climbing all over Patrick Williams, while Joseph Mark Lucas is tucked in right behind him. So there are battles developing. I'd like to think at the moment here, Tom, we've got almost a Chinese firework that is just tinkering along at this moment in time. It's lit, but the fuse is going very, very slowly. And then when we get to lap 25, it's going to go kaboom, and it's going to be chaos and epic racing throughout the whole field.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing any pit stops in this one either, unless you know more than I do, James. But it's going to get intense in the closing stages, so it looks like none of them are really showing their hands at this moment in time. We're just seeing Hacken going over the line with 134.4. You can tell he's pulling away from Flint and Vesman, and Suarez is he's staying in touch with them somewhat, and he's pulling away from Jimenez, who's in 5th place, with Byland not too far behind.
Yeah, Ramos sitting behind at this moment in time. You're going to be able to make the move down into turn 1 over Joseph Mark Lucas. He extends it up the inside. That's the feels going to be the job done for Eddie Amos. Again, gives him absolutely loads of room on the outside. Way nicer than anybody I know probably would have been. Amos is now going to try and run around the outside again. Does clear Mark Lucas. Lucas has come back at him. Amos is running side by side again. So nice on the room. I'm surprised that Eddie left him that much room on the outside of 1 there, Tom, because he was playing it very, very nice and very, very accommodating, should we say, to the fact that Mark was Joseph was on the outside.
Yeah, I thought he needed to be a little bit more ruthless there, Amos, because he just gave him too much room for him to come back at turn 2, which then gave him the high ground into turn 3. So he just needs to tide the line into to make it more difficult for his rival to come back at him. And now he's having to do all that again next time around.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think that's the thing. You want to open up He had the opportunity just to open up the steering at turn 1, make it hard for Lucas to get on the gas and think about what's going on. And at the moment, Amos is sat there once more. Around turn 13, coming into turn 14 we go. Eddie, Amos, Joseph, Mark, Lucas. One from Wales, one from the United States. This is where we're expecting him to pull in now as well. And Mark Lucas is going to the right here. Now he's gone back to the left. Let's hope there's only the first move. One move he's made down into turn 1. Amos is too far back. Not going to get the job done. I think we've lost Clark Williams. We have lost Clark Williams, the man on the move throughout the evening of racing. And Clark has unfortunately done this. Was it completely on his own from Clark Williams? It was. He couldn't stop the car in time, and unfortunately ends up going in there as well. And that was a slight touch on the grass for Clark, and that is where he has resumed. And that just goes to show, Tom, that slight little touch on the grass on the curb on the left hand side coming down into turn 1. No grip, no brakes, into the wall he went, and you see just that slightest little wall tap ripped the whole front wheels off.
Yeah, and it's almost like that curve just sucked him in, didn't it?
Yeah.
So he's out of the race, and Clark Williams after a strong drive, and we are riding on board with Mackenzie Roon, who is sat behind his compatriot, who's in 9th position. That would be Robert Ridgway.
Yep.
Yeah. So these two are about to go into combat very shortly. Hopefully, these two will put on a show for us, because we've not seen too much of that in this race so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look behind Mackenzie Roon there as well. Oh, look, JPBroadcasting underneath there. Great job. I didn't realise that was there, actually. Great shot there for that one. Cheers, Mackenzie. A little bit of advertising on the back end of Mackenzie Roon's car there. Caught me completely unaware. I didn't realise that was actually on there. But thank you very much, Mackenzie Roon. Looks absolutely amazing. As he's being chased down by Simon Fessy. Great little battle with Simon here. Hoping this one gets hotter and hotter as it goes on. Chris Pratt and Chris Trott are running side by side. This is a battle, believe it or not, down for 25th and 26th, and these guys just not leaving each other alone. The man from UK and Ireland, Chris Trott, over the American Pat as they're going around turn 1. Pat gets the job done this time around there as well. So unfortunately, this does look like Chris Trott is recovering from an earlier incident here. I'm wondering where this is likely. Was that on the run down into turn 12? Oh, dude. Too much speed, too much curb there, Tom. And unfortunately, he's now put himself in the back end of the field towards 25th. Now, Andy Flint slowly coming under more and more pressure here. But again, still managing to survive ahead of Nicholas Westman.
Yeah, so he's doing his best so far. So I think Hakim has been allowed to shoot off into the distance. And now Flint is going to be under attack from Vesman sooner rather than later. It's just a matter of when Vesman decides to go for it. But he's got Pedro Suarez looming him down all the time as well. So he's got to play his cards right if he's going to come away with a positive result here.
I'm wondering if Andy Flint can get second place here. I've got a funny feeling that would actually be, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Flint's best position this evening. It is his best position. He's had a 8th for 9th for 13th for 19th for 12th for 38th for Fuji, 13th and an 8th. So this would be Andy Flint's best position here if he can manage to stay where he is. And it'll be interesting to see whether or not he is able to hold on to this one, whether or not his tyres will hold on as well. Don't forget, Andy was the man who gave us that little bit of information before that tyres could become a problem. So for his sake, I'm hoping he's sitting in that car, Tom, tyre saving his absolute head off with Nicholas Westman ready to pounce.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much Andy Flint's been saving his tyres at this point. He's keeping the car in the right places. And one thing I want to point out is track limits, because Vesman ran wide through turn 12 there. There's not a distinct number of track limit violations that you can take before you do get penalised, and that's one thing that drivers have been briefed about before the event had begun. And drivers like Vesman will need to keep on his nose clean throughout the whole race to make sure he doesn't get penalised.
Yeah, I do find that they very rarely hit the limits of what their X limit is. In fact, I can't actually remember the last time anybody hit their limit. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it is 17x here. And I'm just double checking myself on. No, they have got they've got unlimited incidents, one fast repair, no tyre changings, no qualifier, normal malarkey. So they are on an unlimited, but they have been warned about off-track excursions and off-track limits. So they're going to have to be a little bit careful on how they manage that one and their off-track situation. They have been put as well, just obviously making it obvious that 4 wheels over the white line is not going to cut it here. You've got to make sure you're keeping that car in between the lines.
Yeah, well, we've got a battle for 6th place, Hudson, as Byland is under attack from Schremstra in the light green and black livery. It's a gorgeous livery, it has to be said. It's almost reminiscent of the Sauber Formula 1 team car. But we've got a battle raging on now. It's a Sauber against what looks like the ex-livery of a Brawn, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. That is literally, you're exactly right. Kevin Byland is the old Brawn livery. There was a couple in there. Andy Flint, I believe, used to run the livery, if I'm not mistaken, as well. I'm trying to think now, because we've been here for quite a while. I think we've been here for over a year on this series. It was a long time ago. I'm sure it was Andy Flint. I think run the Brawn livery. Byland's picked it up. Swenstra's tucked in. He's not going to make the move. It doesn't look like he's aggressive enough to go and make that move down into turn 1. I think Swenstra's going to stay where he is. We have reached half distance. Leonard Cherry is making a little bit of a nuisance of himself on the back of Joseph Mark Lucas. In fact, there is 2 cars there, by the way. Leonard now pulls out, looks for the inside of turn 1, thinks about going up there. Is he going to be able to get it? He is. Another man. Did he open up the steering a little bit? Nope. Lucas is going to come straight back at him again. And that's the fear of taking the inside line of turn 1. Tom, it just doesn't seem to work. The outside line, the natural line, should we say, seems to be able to carry so much more speed around the outside.
Yeah, well, that would be what the drivers are thinking about, because you need to get within a couple of tenths of the driver in front to make them defend the inside, which will then take you to the outside lane. That's probably where you get more grip on the outside, because normally you would find marbles that catch you out. But now we've still got this battle for 18th position, and the battle for 6th place is still going on between Byland and Schremstra. I would have thought Schremstra would have maybe got through on Byland at turn 2, but he's still stopped behind the Brawn liveried machine. And will he go for it into turn 1 this time around?
If he gets the opportunity, but he's got to be careful because Glam Seat is behind him as well. Off-track abuse is reported after post-race usually. Yeah, that's what I thought on that one. Yeah, because they do look at the off-track situation and decide who and what and where and who has got a penalty here as well. You can see Swemstra now making that move. Steady, steady. You're on a straight, boys. You're on a straight. Leave each other alone. Byland's now going to try and send him out. Now that is how... Whoa, there was contact. There was, by the looks of it, a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact in the back there. Kevin Swemstra did make it through, but I've got a funny feeling Byland was very, very close there, Tom, and I wouldn't be surprised if coming out of turn 1 there was some form of contact, because it looked like, oh, steady Byland there as well as he's coming into turn 1 here. Was there contact on the rear?
I don't think there was, to be honest with you.
Oh, no, I think both men may have jinked away just at the right moment, but boy, oh boy, was that close. Webster's now gone through. Byland has now got Glamseater behind him. Lenny Cherry and Mark Lucas still having a nice little ding-dong further back in the order. This is 18th and 19th on track. It looks like Chris Trott has had a moment. Marcius Putnieks may have also had a moment. Leonard Cherry dropping Eddie Amos. Amos trying to climb on to the back here. He's going to rely on the fact that these two will continue to fight. That will give him room here. Cherry and Lucas now on the run round the top part of the circuit here as well. Round turn 9 through into 10, now down into 11. Cherry's looking very, very aggressive here, Tom, and I like that. I like that image. He's got that aggressive body model in the car. He's looking at sticking his nose out at every early opportunity, and Cherry is not going to be long, I think, before he has a right little ding-dong at Joseph Marcus Lucas.
Yeah, so he's smelling his opportunity now, is Cherry. He's got Lucas just ahead, and he will be looking to do what Schremscher did to Byland on the previous lap and just get alongside, but he doesn't look he's close enough to really force Lucas to the inside to defend. So it looks like he's going to have to wait a little bit longer. If he can maybe get a little bit later on the brakes and take the outside line into one, they might get a good exit, but he's not able to do it this time around.
Yeah.
And he sticks behind him for the time being.
Yeah. Stay there again. It looks like he might be there for another lap or so. Chris Trott again, possibly just flirting with off-track limits. Westman is flirting with the fact that he is slowly losing Andy Flint. Christian Glamseater, however, is slowly closing into the back of Byland. Through turn 9 they go, into 10, round the left-hander of 10 now, coming into 11. Kevin Swemstra, No Limit Sim Racing. Kevin Byland in front from Sweden doing his thing here, but he's put under pressure. Swemstra's off down the road by 1 second already. Byland's driving very defensively here, Tom, and unfortunately that defensive driving is losing the momentum down to Swemstra.
Yeah, well, he's allowing Schremscher to pull away, and now he's got his eyes focused on Glamster, who is... Oh, there's a spin. Who's that spun round? I think it's a back marker, wasn't it? But we'll stay with Glamster, who's looking to get a move on...
Go back. There you
Did
go.
he get the move done? Yeah, did he get the move done on Byland into turn 1? He's got his nose in front, but Byland was able to get the car turned in and forces Glamster out wide. And that was marginal, but Byland just about keeping hold of the place.
Yeah.
I think we can go back to the replay now, James, to see what happened.
Yeah, I just want to see. Hold on, Byland's just gone a little bit wide. This is going to bring Swemstra into action again. That was very aggressive from Kevin Byland. He literally was planting the car right in front of Swemstra's way. I can guarantee Swemstra in that car is in that car is not going to be best impressed. He's got Rob Ridgway, Mackenzie Roon now all tucked up here, and Byland's looking more like a cork in a bottle, Tom, and it looks like he's holding up possibly 4 drivers here from trying to have a go.
It feels like every corner he's succeeding shouting the miss there is Glamseater, but he's keeping the car points in the right way, and now he's going to be under so much pressure from the man behind him who's carrying literally the same livery as what he has got. Robert Ridgway, that is, who is determined to go up into the top 8.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised how. I think it will be what Ridgway does here, whether or not he really does try and go for it. And at the moment, it's still leaving it open to Glamseater there as well. So Glamseater is under pressure from Ridgway. Is Ridgway going to pull out here behind his teammate? He has. Mackenzie Roon has followed him on the inside. Ridgway on the left. Glamseater's on the right. Glamseater really needs to close that door quick because Mackenzie Roon is coming right back in again. Is this a switch on purpose from the Lone Limit Sim Racing? Is it a Christian, you've had your go, let me go and have a go at Byland now as well from Robert Ridgway? Did Robert get into itchy feet here at this moment in time because he felt like he needed to get past him? He needed to be able to go after Kevin Byland. Yeah,
well, that was a planned overtake there between the two teammates. They were aware of where they were on the circuit, and so Ridgway has a chance to go after Byland for P7. One driver who's had a torrid lap is Patrick Williams, who's in 24th place. It looks like he's had a moment somewhere that has seen him fall down the order, and here it is. It looks like he's done it to turn 13 by the looks of it.
Whoa! That wouldn't have helped.
Power down.
Yeah.
No.
Stay where you are. Stay where you are. That blinking car would not have helped there either. So I can guarantee that's probably not going to be on that Christmas card list for Patrick Williams. When you can't see the car, you don't know where it is. You have no idea where it's going to be coming back. So unfortunately, he was up to the mercy of the gods there. Oh, Mackenzie Roon gets on the power a little bit too early. 10 to go now. And it's still Raheem Hakim out in front by 5 seconds. Andy Flint just holding on to a second gap over Westman. Westman has now got the leader of the championship. Pedro Suarez in behind him. I want to have a look and see Simon Fessy and Mackenzie Roon, and that all stemmed from Mackenzie's slide round the tight final corner there, losing that place to Simon Fessy, and now Mackenzie's going to have to go again here once more for 11th place for Mackenzie. One mistake though, Tom, and it showed that Mackenzie Roon was under pressure straight away and lost that position down into turn 1.
He got a very poor exit coming out of the last turn, which allowed Fessy to get through into turn 1. So the attempts of getting through on Glumsteater had backfired for Roon, focusing more on him as opposed to his own driving.
Yep. I think that's the thing, isn't it? When you're trying to concentrate on going forward, you're in the middle of the pack where you've also got to try and defend, and it's just never easy, and you end up being in that situation what Mackenzie Roon was. Westman and Suarez have just swapped places. Suarez has just gone up the inside, so from turn 13 Suarez has got the job done over Westman, and now he's going to set about going after Andy Flint, who's got 1.6 seconds to down the road there. Nice little gap, and he's got 9 laps to do it here. So Kevin Byland again is looking very much more of a cork in the bottle once more here, you know, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars going after Kevin Byland here, and if he finds himself under attack from all of them, he could really be in deep trouble, because that is not Glumsteater anymore. That is Ridgway. That is an American Robert Ridgway, who drives these cars for an absolute hoot and literally will battle Byland until almost like the battle to
It's on CD.
he's got it wrong.
Yeah, he got it all horribly wrong into turn 2, and that was the invitation that Ridgway was not going to refuse.
Nope. Job's a good one, job's done, and Kevin Byland now is going to have Glumsteater in behind him as well. I was going to say Robert Ridgway is kind of like a gladiator. It was always battle to the death there with Byland, and Ridgway was going to get it all day long, but Byland really did assist himself by going in too deep. He was being under so much pressure throughout this whole entire period of this race, and literally I'm surprised he hadn't cracked earlier. I know you know, they're Swedish and they're Icemen and they're, you know, stoned, but he literally has been under pressure from about lap 1, Tom.
Well, he's on a man on the move at the moment, and it's just a shame that it's the Hungaroring and not a different circuit for him, because I'd like to see that he'd have got through on some more drivers. He got his elbows out, or he was allowed to get his elbows out a little bit more in the early stages, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Byland now has Glumsteater, what was for 7th position earlier, it's now for 8th place.
Yeah, but for how long? That's going to be the question. How long is Glumsteater going to sit there? Is he then going to go and do a Ridgway and send it, or at least unsettle Byland in a way where Byland's going to make another mistake? Tucked in now, turn 1. Byland looks like he's losing it here just a little bit. He's dropped away from Ridgway. Glumsteater looks like he's now got the opportunity to go up the inside. I wouldn't have done that, because that's going to kind of throw you out for the exit, which it did, and you lost a little bit of time there. You've now got to go and try and tuck back in and pull that time back on the run up into turn 4 now. Christian Glumsteater, Kevin Byland going at it for now. Watch the cut of the curb and the drain on the outside through turn 6 to turn 5, sorry. There you go, and then through the right and left of turn 6 here as well. Glumsteater is putting pressure on him, but he's got to know how to put pressure on to the point of where he's either going to force the overtake or he's going to force Byland to make a mistake.
Well, he's going to have to just keep doing what he has been doing, but he's fallen back from Byland during the middle sector of this lap, and that's probably his Achilles heel for Glumsteater, because he's not able to stay within the turbulent air of Byland in front, and that's what's knocked him off kilter. But now, when he gets to the pit straight, he's able to get close enough to be within a couple of tenths. But by the looks of things, it looks like Byland is getting back to the rear of Robert Ridgway.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Ridgway might, I'm not saying want to play the team game and just back Byland up a little bit. I'm not saying that's probably going to be a thing either, to be honest, because we know Byland's not afraid of sending it through there. Did they make it down here? They did, as they were, really. I just wanted to see what was happening with Mark Lucas and Stefan Doldera. Yeah, Stefan in that bright yellow machine. Do love a good yellow car, so fair play to Stefan on that one. He's going to be up at the back end between Lucas. He's going to have a go down into turn one. He pulls out here. He's looking for the send on the inside. Left hand there for Stefan. Great job. Through he goes. That leaves Mark Lucas back under attack from Leonard Cherry again, who's been fighting with him as well throughout the race. So there's this action here. There's the Kevin Byland, Robert Ridgway, Glamsey, Afesi battle still materialising as well, Tom. We got to lap 23, and I can feel that pressure cooker lid, that Chinese firework, just starting to light a little bit more aggressively.
Yep. Just looking at the number of drivers out of the race so far, it looks like we've had 7 who are not running. 30 are still going. Alex Hopkins is the last of the runners so far in 30th place. He's behind John McKenzie, who's like another 18 seconds off the road from where he is. And yeah, it just seems to be a relatively clean one throughout. And now we're getting to the closing stages of this one. Are we going to see anyone making a move? Well, someone who's going down the order a little bit is McIntyre Jones, is it? That's shot down the order. I think he was battling out with Dennis Cornu for a moment there, and I think he's had a moment.
Yeah, he has. He's had a moment. Simon Fessy also looks like he's had a moment. Mackenzie Roon there pulls out and pulls back in front of Simon, so there must have been a slight little bit of an off track that the system was registered and thought he was all or something. Roon again, or Glamsey is still with Byland. We can have a look and see what happened to McIntyre Jones here, because that did cost him 2 places over the curb, and unfortunately, nope, not unfortunately. He went and hit the wall. He's going to spin the machine back round, see if he can get going once more, but he did go into the pit lane after that. Alan Lay, Marcius Putnieks, Joseph Lucas side by side here again. Lucas has lost that place to Leonard Cherry. So Lucas there has lost a place to Leonard Cherry. It looks like he's just about to lose a place to Alan Lay. It looks like Stefan Doderer has just done a big one here, because somehow just gone straight back to the pit. Oh no, dude, in the wall all day.
Oh goodness me.
In a nice term, thank God this is sim racing, dude, because that would be absolutely horrific, as Marcius Putnieks and Joseph Lucas battle with Alan Lay in between them. That battle with Maroon, Glamsey, Byland and Ridgway kind of settled back down a little bit. Fessy sticking his nose in and around the Mackenzie Maroon exhaust pipe to try and get some pressure on him, but we're coming into the final 5 now, so we're going to see how these guys get on here, and I think it could be quite interesting. I wanted Chinese fireworks. I think we might get them here from somewhere within this race. This is either going to be out the Fessy Room battle or the Alan Lay Joseph Mark Lucas battle.
Well, I mean, place your bets now if you ever so wish to do. I mean, it's a shame we're not seeing too much of that going on out the front of the field, but the midfield is where it's all happening. Byland and Glumster are nose to tail once more. In fact, they're just a tenth adrift of each other now, so that we want to be going to that battle in a moment there. There they are, although it does look bigger than a tenth of a second. Although Byland's gone too deep into turn 5, is Glumster going to go for it into the chicane of 6 and 7? He does not. Do you know what? I'm actually surprised he didn't go for it there.
It looked like he backed out there. That was really weird. But I don't know if he backed out because he didn't think he was going to get it and he was erring on the side of caution. You know, Christian's not dumb. He's not one of these crazy send-it Max Verstappen racing drivers. He'll think about what he's going to do first. You can guarantee he would have sat in that car and he would have almost Terminator-like analysed Kevin Byland. You know, to sit there and figure out what's he going to do. Okay, so he's made a mistake in this corner now. He made a mistake in that corner before. And Glamsey probably wouldn't have put himself in that position knowing that it was likely to be costing him the race. Now looking back from just above the exhaust system here on the Super Formula lights, there is Glamsey. You can see him closing in. It's down to 3 tenths. It's coming down at a rapid rate of knots now. I don't think it's close enough to make this move into turn 1 this time around for Christian. It's not, and it's not close enough for Mackenzie Roon or Simon Fessy. Alec Hopkins has had a little bit of a mare further down the order. We won't focus and demoralise the young man too much, but unfortunately he has made a mistake there. And it looks like Koji Ito has also gone and lost 3 places So I'm wondering if Cody made a mistake. But now Glamsey has got Rune back in the mix with him again. You know, so it's a very tough situation here. Byland is that cork. He looks like he is that cork in a bottle there, Tom. And he looks like he's kind of just sat there doing his thing, and rightly so. There's no, you know, right or wrong reasons, and he should be jumping out of the way because he doesn't. But he does look the cork in the bottle out the 4.
Yeah, well, you can just see, it's almost like Glumster is just trying to find any opportunity around any turn that you wouldn't see cars overtaking there, just to try and put Byland off. And now it's all allowing Mackenzie Rune and Simon Fessy to get right up to the gearboxes of those two. Things could get very, very interesting in the final remaining laps here. And there's actually now a battle for 4th place raging on between Vesman and Jimenez. So we've now got 2 genuine battles towards the front of the field that could get very, very tasty.
Yeah, Jimenez on the right-hand side there. He's going to try and go around the outside of Westman into 1. This isn't a bad move whatsoever there. If Jimenez can hang it out, he's trying. He's off the side of the circuit. He's back on again. Now they're side by side. Jimenez is on the right. He's got the job done. He's taken his position, I think. Westman is giving him ample amounts. Oh, Westman's just got him pulled off. Literally just got him pulled off. Not entirely sure what's happened to him. And now we've got this 2 wide, 3 wide. Byland's in the outside. Rune's trying to go around the outside. Byland's going to open it up and squeeze Mackenzie Rune as much as he's allowed. Rune's got to made it through. Somehow Mackenzie Rune has done a 2 for 1 here. Byland's looking at coming back again. They're going to be almost 2, 3 wide. Round turn 4. Oh, somehow, from all of a sudden, it looks like Byland hit the NOS button and managed to get both of them back again. That was insane.
That was, I don't know how they managed to do that, but that was sensational to watch. And that was the kind of battle we've been waiting for all race. And it's a terrible shame for Vestman, who pulled off at turn 2. Hopefully we'll get some news as to what was the cause on that, because it looks rather peculiar the way he just pulled off there, unless his steering or one of his pedals had gone all funny or something like that, but we'll find out sooner rather than later. Meanwhile, we've got this battle for what is now 7th place raging on between Byland, Rune, Lumstead and Bessie.
Yeah, these 4 battling out. That was risky and beautiful, says Anna's here in YouTube chat. I do fully agree with you there, dear sir. It was definitely risky, and it definitely was beautiful, but they're still not giving up on each other. They're still not letting each other go. Then it is Byland, there is Rune, there is Fessy, there is Glamseeder. They're going to make it through. Glamseeder and Fessy. Fessy's going to try and run around the outside. Glamseeder's going to make him go the long way. He did do that as well. Fessy's now looking at coming back on the inside, down into turn 2. There he is there in the black and yellow. Black and yellow. He's going to be, is he going to hold on? He is Glamseeder. I don't think Fessy's going to have another go here. And that is Fessy's bit of a march on the run up through turn 4. You still see Rune and Byland in front of us. They're still going at each other here. The cooker is cooking. The lid is bubbling. When do we think it's going to come flying off, though, Tom?
I mean, answers on a postcard. Byland.
I agree.
Fighting for all his worth. And yeah, I'm just wondering, the car behind Bessie, who's about 5 seconds behind his corner, he'll be able to pick up the pieces should any of these trip up over themselves. But we'll find out sooner rather than later next time around when they go through turn number 1 for the penultimate time of the race. Hackins just started the penultimate lap. Andy Flynn 8 seconds behind. He won't be challenging the battle for that. So I think the top 6 is all pretty much decided. It's a matter of who's going to finish 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th.
I can tell you what, Byland is driving super aggressively. Super defensively, super aggressively. He's going to squeeze Mackenzie Rune down to the wall. It's almost Schumacher Barrichello-esque here. Hopefully they'll give him, you've got to give him room, dude. You can't, literally, he ain't an orange in a juicer, mate. You can't just squeeze him until he comes and explodes here. Byland then gets the position back again. Ow! Is he doing that? Is all of a sudden he's pressing a button that's giving him extra. Oh, he's gone round! Right in front of them all! Oh, Kevin
And And Fetty got through on all of them because of Violent going in reverse. So I wonder if Violent might have the book thrown at him for that for driving standards. We'll have a look to see.
What actually happened here? Did he just get super loose? So
I'm amazed.
He's then cut back, isn't he?
Yeah, he cuts back. I'm amazed that Rune and Byland didn't touch on the approach to turn number 1. And I think Byland, all of a sudden, just gets the power down too early when he didn't really need to because he had a big cushion anyway over the pack. Yeah, he just dropped it.
Yeah, and then he's just going backwards down the race circuit from Byland. And then he just kind of held up and Fessy said, well, thank you very much. We're on the final lap of the race. Raheem McKean is starting his run out. We kind of had a rough idea, though, Tom, that pressure cooker, the lid was going to come a-flying. Something was going to happen. And that was the situation, wasn't it? You know, he was bubbling along there, Byland. He was, to be honest with you, he was holding on as if it was a cliff diver falling off Mount Everest by his fingertips there, because he was under so much pressure throughout the whole of them 30 laps.
Yeah, and Byland was just under enormous pressure throughout, and the pressure got the better of him, unfortunately. In contrast, Rahim Hakim has had no such trouble from the start, and no one can complain about the performance from him today. He has been very solid from start to finish. He's about to clinch his first victory of the season.
Yeah, Raheem Hakim coming in now as well. Round turn 13, the final turn here for Raheem. He's going to be going round turn 14. Jobs are good, and he is done. He's going to lead this by 9 seconds. Raheem Hakim takes round 9 victory. I'm going to sit and wait here, and we're going to celebrate the American, that is Andy Flint, who's going to get his best finish of the season. He takes the 2nd place. Well done to Mr. Flint there. Pedro Suarez is going to come over the line now on the left-hand side, and Tony Jimenez is going to grab 4th place. Kevin Zwemstra is going to come over the line here as well. And then we're going to see Robert Ridgway finishing in 6th. Simon Fessy is going to grab the 7th place here, and rightly so as well. He made the most of the opportunity, did get it there. Glamsy and Room comes over the line. Then it's cornered for Rabillard here as well. And you've got to admit, it was how we kind of said it was going to go. You know, it was bubbling, boom! It exploded. What is going on with Marek Kotlovs and Will McIntyre-Jones here? They are ding-donging it out round the final corner here, side by side. Who's going to get this one? It looks like McIntyre-Jones is. He does get that over Marek Kotlovs. They were very, very close together here. Richard Van Veen is another one as well. He's at the top part of the circuit. I believe he's already finished, actually. So there we go. We're just waiting for the Zoltan Zamotta group. We're constant. There is Zoltan. There is Costas. He's going over the line as well. Job done. And then the final finisher is Chris Patt. Before we bring you up the results here, and we can have a look now at the results. And, well, it was that pressure cooker moment, and we knew it was coming. Raheem Hakim is your race winner with Andy Flint in 2nd, Pedro Suarez in 3rd, Tony Jimenez in 4th, with Kevin Webster 5th, then Robert Ridgway grabbed 6th. Simon Fessy got the 3-for-1 special and got ahead of Glamseater and Rune there and took 7th. Glamseater 8th, Rune in 9th, Dennis Cornu in 10th, Fibard Rabillard 11th. Byland does come through the tape, though. It does come over the line in 12th. Whether or not there's going to be a bit of an investigating into him rolling backwards down the race circuit, though. Eddie Amos in 13th, Lennon Cherry 14th, Alan Lay in 15th. Thinking back to that, I'll give you my thoughts on that after. Marcius Putniak 16th, Will McIntyre-Jones 17th, Marek Kotlovs 18th, Joseph Lucas 19th, and Patrick Williams grabbed 20th. I'm sure he'll be disappointed with that one. Zoltan Zamotta 21st, Costa Tenebrow 22nd, Chris Patt 23rd, John McKenzie 24th, and Richard Van Veen down in 25th. We've got Alex Hopkins 26th, Stefan Dordora in 27th, Cody Ito 28th, Nicholas Westman 4 laps down, Chris Shaw 8 laps down, Donald Leakey 12 laps down, Clark Williams 19, Maximilian Gerbert 23, and Stu Milne is unfortunately 23 laps down as well for Stu Milne. Then we obviously had Marcello Kessler who went out, Noel Richie Robinson, we don't really know, and Jesper Zandstrom, who unfortunately had fatherly duties to do there. Thoughts on that race, Tom? What do we think?
I enjoyed it. It was a very good race, and I'm sure the drivers were looking forward more to Mugello, which is essentially Ferrari's backyard, isn't it? It's a really old school racetrack, just as the Hungaroring is anyway. But there is something about it which the drivers do love, and I think it's more to do with the flow of the racetrack itself. Some of them will have had experience on there before, and so they are looking forward to racing there. And hopefully we'll get some more wheel-to-wheel battles there.
Yeah, hopefully we will. But there we go, guys. That has brought round 9 to the end. Now, my thoughts on Kevin Byland rolling down the race circuit could be that he was trying to not get hit from behind. If you think about the 10 metres he did travel, 10 metres he would have been on the brakes. It's 10 metres that Mackenzie Roon had more of an opportunity to go and hit him, to be honest. So, I don't know. I don't think that should have been done in general. But if it is the reason that I'm thinking of, then I suppose he was erring on the side of safety not to have Mackenzie Roon go and hit him. But look, that's just my opinion, and who am I at the end of the day? I just get the pleasure of commentating on these great cars. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for joining us again. It's been a great experience watching these cars do 30 laps around the Hungaroring, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Don't forget, if you're a bit of a NASCAR, secret NASCAR lover, you can join us later on the JPB for the Gen 4 Michigan International Speedway for the Driver Appreciation 95. That is their finale. That's a season finisher for the Gen 4s. Don't forget to go back and have a look over everything else that has been this weekend. It has been an absolute ram solid weekend here as well. Kevin Byland, wait what? I will give you a couple of minutes, Mr. Byland. What could the wait be for, Tom, do we think?
So I'd imagine, does he maybe want to have a word with us on his race, perhaps?
I don't know, unless he's going to tell us something. I did it because if I braked and stopped, there would be more cars. See? Look at me. Call me Mystic Meg, darling. I got that one right as well. I did say he might have rolled back to get out of the way there. So, well, if that is true, and I believe it to be true, Kevin, then, yeah, you know, I called it. So, look at that. All these rights I am today, anyway. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for confirming what I already knew as Mystic Meg. Don't ask me for the lottery numbers. Oh, you ain't going to win. But anyway, guys, Christian would crash into me if I braked. Absolutely. I do fully agree. That's going to wrap this one up anyway, guys. Thank you so much, as we've had confirmation from Kevin Byland as to why he did it. And, well, let's say, hey, I was right on that one. But I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Tom Cairns here this evening. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.